Peach Moonstone has a tall, slim body like Opal, but is slightly shorter than her. Her skin is pale peach, her hair is sunset orange and is shaped like a crescent moon, but her side bangs curls at the ends. Her nose isn't still as pointy as Pearl's, and her eyes was a lactic color with pupils. Plus, her eyelashes were upside down and long, but not like Spinel's tear stains. She also had 4 arms, the upper arms appearing like Pearl's and the lower arms on her other sides appears like Spinel's. Both wear white gloves. Her outfit consists of a pale peach color, and of course, with a blue and white striped ribbon around her waist, and a blue-white star on the front. Only her upper arms have the pink, pale shoulder pads, while the lower part of the dress is translucent, layered with several pale stars. But she has a long white leggings, bright orange slippers, and pointed tips. As her weapon has Pearl's, but the tip of it has a hook that heavily resembles Crescent Moon. Basically, her color scheme is blue, orange, white, and a bit of pink. Fun fact is that Pearl controls the upper arms and Spinel controls the lower arms. Chariot is short but bulky for a gem. Her hair is short, spiky, and pale magenta, with 2 tufts to make it look like rabbit ears. Her skin is pale and lavender, and her lips are much less plump, and one of her eyes is purple and the other one is dark pink. Much to Peach Moonstone, her eyelashes were upside down. She only has 2 bulky arms, one stretchy arm on her hip and the other one without a glove. Her outfit is a deep pink tank top, connected into a short skirt that is slightly ripped into star shapes. Her leggings are black and her shoes are dark pink. Her weapon is amethyst's, but her whip is covered in heart-shaped spikes that can actually stretch it with it no limit. Basically, her color scheme is mauve, magenta, deep pink, and black. Fun fact is, both of her arms can connect up with the wind to make a powerful punch. With the gems on his back, Lion lunged out of the portal on his feet before collapsing. Stephen gasped for air as he poked his head through his mane and stroked Lion's head. "Lion, are you okay?" Lion growled weakly as Spinel also exited out of the mane and Garnet walking towards the hub. As I feared. Looking up, they saw the communication hub Sugilite had previously destroyed, crudely put it back together, emanating the wavering pillar at the side of the light into the sky. Pearl examined the hub. It looks like Peridot somehow reappeared the communication hub. Well, at least some of it. "Oh, stars, please don't tell me we're all going to use Sugilite again," Spinel exasperated, but then Amethyst wrapped her arm around her side tightly. "Oh, come on, Stretch," said Amethyst smugly. "If you really want to use the fuse with me, you can just ask." Spinel shook her head. No, I don't think Chariot would have had enough strength." Stephen gasped. "Yes, but you totally should. I want to see what she looks like." Maybe some other time, sweet." Amethyst brightened up. "Come on, Spinel, let's give our kids some good old Chariot." "No," Amethyst, Spinel, and Stephen all stared at Garnet. "What? Why?" Amethyst asked, raising an eyebrow. "I'm afraid Chariot won't be any better than Sugilite. Sure, she's smaller than her, but you two can seriously get out of hand. We only need her when things get very serious and I'm not around. So for the time being, Sugilite is bench on Chariot is out of the question," explained Garnet, the light reflecting on their visors. Spinel now nodded in agreement. "She's right, Amethyst. It's being Chariot fun with you, but I really don't want to go through what you guys went through." Amethyst shot her a scowl, but didn't retort. Stephen scratched his head. "Who's gonna destroy the hub? And not to insult Peach Moonstone and Opal, but I don't think they could do much." "No insult taken," Spinel said. Amethyst shrugged. "Pearl and I will do it," Garnet said, earning Pearl's attention. Turning to face her, Garnet smiled. "It's just you and me. Let's fuse." Of course, Pearl's eyes welled up with tears. "Don't cry, Pearl." Pearl grinned happily before sniffing disgustingly and trembling. "I'm right behind you." She frowned, looking at Garnet to see some other space. Stephen then jumped excitedly. "Fusion, fusion, fusion!" He and Spinel and Amethyst stood beside the lion. "Get ready," Garnet stood, prepared, and the gems on the palms glowing. Pearl continued to stretch. "Hang on, it's going to be such a long time." She then stood in place. her gem glowing. Spinel playfully elbowed Steven. "You're really gonna like this one," she whispered. Pearl and Garnet began to dance, more gracefully than as their gemstones glowed brightly. After Garnet dipped Pearl and tossed her upwards, Pearl dove back down to Garnet, which of course made them contact again, and to glow a white pillar, and it glowed. The fusion of Garnet and Pearl appeared in the curtains, and when the curtains, white dragonflies flew around. "Good evening, everyone," the four-armed fusion cheerfully greeted, struggling over the others. "This is the lovely Sandrox Dronix, coming for you to live in the soon-to-be former communication hub. How are you all doing tonight?" "Great," muttered Amethyst. Steven's eyes became stars. "Giant woman!" Sardoronx picked up the boy and her two friends. "Oh my stars. If it isn't Steven Universe, we finally met. So, what do you think?" She spun her torso 360 degrees. "Was I worth the wait? Am I the one you're seeing?" "Of course I was," she laughed. "Yee, Sandrex!" Spinel waved her arm up to catch the fusion's attention, which she succeeded. "Oh, and isn't this darling Spinel?" Sandrex lowered one hand over to lift Spinel up in the air and brought her close. "I just love what you did, especially your dress." Spinel grinned happily, bowing down like a ladylike fashion. "Aw, gee, thank you, guys. It's been so long since we last met. I can't seem to recall how many years. Maybe I could, but if I had to count my fingers, I gotta run out of room." The boy and the pink gem in the fusion laughed together. Sandrox stopped and wiping a tear from her eye. "Sorry, I'm just so excited to be here. You see, I haven't been exactly myself lately." Once again, the three of them burst out laughing at the joke. "Fusion joke," proclaimed Steven, while Spinel gave him the fusion a big thumbs up. Amethyst just groaned and plopped her head on the con as her arms crossed. Sandrex placed Steven and Spinel down. "And these jokes are just not the only thing I got." Sandrex summoned Min Pearl's spear in one of her hands, tapping her shoulder, and she pretended to distract it as she tossed the spear up in the air. Summoning Garnet's gunlets, she bumps them against the spear and created a giant mallet, hoisting it over her shoulder. "What do you say, Donnie?" Spinel asked while smiling. "You're gonna smash with your mallet?" Yeah, Steven somehow leapt into her shoulders. Sandrex pounded. "Smash? That would be the best word to describe. Someone else might have to." Amethyst frowned. The fusion then leapt up, knocking down the pillars as she narrated. "The proper words to describe are specific, intelligent, accurate, faultless, elegant, controlled, surgical, graceful, and powerful." She paused at the last pillar. "But yes, occasionally I am known to smash." She slightly typed on the pillar with her mallet, and it fell. Deactivating the hub, Sandrex landed on the ground, her mallet spinning and disappearing into dragonflies. Lion tried to catch one in his mouth. Spinel and contactly held them. "Just how now? This is just to remember everyone," spoke Sandrex. "If you ever need the lovely of Sandrex, let Pearl and Garnet know, and I'll be there in a flash, literally." She poofed away, revealing Garnet and Pearl in their dance position. They opened their eyes, releasing each other until Pearl squealed and spun around Garnet while laughing. "Woohoo!" Steven whooped, running to the two, Spinel following behind. "You two were amazing." Spinel nodded at the pale gem. "Yeah, it was almost like whoever you fused, you just came out amazing." Pearl then flustered, with her face becoming bright blue as she stared at each other for a second. Garnet then pulled them away and Steven into a hug, and the four of them continued to laugh to their victory. But Amethyst sat down, sulking away from them. "How could she have seen this?" Sad Apple screamed angrily, stomping on the broken parts of the shattered plate. Why? Steven frowned sympathetically. "Aw, Apple, would you just calm down? Pearl didn't mean to." Garnet shrugged, just in time as Spinel warped back. "Hey guys, what did I miss?" Behind her, Amethyst appeared from her room, moving out of Spinel's way, and headed over to the fridge. "Hey, Spinel, Amethyst!" Steven waved to them. "You're missing crying breakfast friends." Amethyst shrugged and opened the fridge. "That's okay, I'm fine." "What's happening there?" asked Spinel. Steven turned on the screen. "Don't worry, Spinel, I'm recording for..." Suddenly, Stag interrupted the TV again and jumped. "It's the signal again." "What?" Spinel hopped over to Steven's room and saw the Stag. Peridot barked. Garnet as she turned the front door where Pearl entered. Pearl, the signal is back. Again? Pearl asked. We need to get back out there. Pearl firmly nodded. All right, Steven, where's the lion? MFS, get your head out of the fridge. Let's go, you guys, Garnet called out. MFS ignored her, but the pink gem circled around her and then tightened, squeezing the purple gem and pulling her away. Garnet beckoned on the other gem. I hope you're ready. You know I am, replied Pearl. Steven and Spinel nodded, and MFS rubbed her arm sadly as Sandornix was formed again. What's this? An encore for performance? Just couldn't get it better enough of me, could you? She laughed. What are you waiting for? Let the show begin. She leapt up and MFS walked away, catching Steven's attention. However, Spinel continued to watch Sandorix disable the hub. As Steven walked over to follow MFS, Spinel became somewhat suspicious. Somehow she remembered the hub looked like before it was rebuilt. The positions of the pillars were there, and looking at it again, Spinel then saw they were exactly the same places as before. Plus, she didn't even see Peridot's message on the television when the stag came up. Her suspicion was that Pearl and Garnet unfused, seeing the pale gem's grin. Determined, Spinel pounded her fist on her palm, thinking of a plan. When Spinel was sure Steven was asleep, she snuck outside to the beach house, much to her relief, and the sun had not touched the horizon, but she knew she couldn't waste time. Jumping on the lion's back and whispering her where the destination was, Lion ran down the beach and jumping into a pink portal. Arriving to their destination, Spinel hopped off of the animal and saw that the hub wasn't activated. The pillars that Sarnax had knocked off was still plunged into the ground. Looks like we're going to be waiting here for a while, bud, Spinel commented and patted the lion's mane. For what would seem to be like hours, Spinel kept on the lookout for the gem to appear, with the lion napping beside her. When a strange sound came closer and closer over to her, Spinel woke up covering her mouth, but she couldn't gasp in shock. There was the escape pod that Peridot had used, and with its tractor beam, it had begun to place the pillars on the hub. Did Peridot steal it from the temple? She whispered to herself, pressing her back against a rock. Without alerting us? No. It has to be someone we know, but who is it? Trying to play it safe, Spinel stretched her right eye again to see at the top of the tower. As soon as the orb landed on the top, she figured stepping out of it. She had to squint. Oddly enough, though, the figure did look strange like Pearl. Spinel retracted her eye and then in dino shock and screamed her teammate's name out, but she stopped herself. The communication hub began to glow once again, emitting the beam right into the sky. Pearl nodded herself, now satisfied, climbed back into the pod and flew away. Lion peeked an eye open and flinched as he saw that Spinel was shaking, her fists trembling, her teeth gritted, and her eyes spilling down her face. How could she do this? She snarled to herself. Only approaching to the hub, her eyes formed into spirals, pigtails bristling, and her fist held up. Does she really know this is some sort of game? Is this her version of fun? Well, if so, Spinel grabbed her fist and enlarged it with clench like a balloon. Her fun is over. With all of her strength, Spinel knocked down the tower with one blow. It still didn't satisfy her, though, so she kept punching and smashing and crashing the pillars into smaller bits and pieces while screaming unbridled rage. Lion watched her, and his eyes widened in fear and ducked behind the rock once more. Once there was nothing left of the hub, except for broken pieces of the pillars, Spinel fell into her knees, panting heavily and shrinking her hands back to normal. There it was, destroyed, gone, demolished, finito. Of course, Spinel stood up silently and walked over to Lion, petting his mane. Let's go home. Lion, Steven called out. Spinel! He and the other crystal gems ran down the beach city, not looking for their animal friend, but also the pink gem. Ugh, where is that beast when you need him? Pearl grumbled. Garnet didn't reply. They were all stopped when they saw Spinel sitting on the beach with a big donut eating. A bag sat beside her, and the lion was napping on the bench. Spinel, Pearl called out while rushing over to her. The signal's back. We just need to head to the hub right away. Spinel then stared at the stars the others before suspecting anything. All right. What? Pearl screamed, staring at the demolished chunks of pillars. Spinel blinked, remaining dull. Wow, false alarm. Spinel picked up the piece of the pillar. But how? The whole thing's wrecked. Garnet readjusted her visors. Well, what matters is that it's destroyed and it won't do us any harm. Let's go back. Lion panted out in exhaustion. Steven petting his mane reassuringly. Sorry, buddy. I don't understand. Pearl gripped her hair in distress. The signal went off? How could this happen? Who could have done this? Come on, Pearl, it doesn't matter anymore, Garnet stated. Pearl then turned around and solemnly followed Garnet and the rest onto Lion's back. During their journey back home, and the moment they got home, Spinel watched Pearl slowly and follow the other gems back inside her house, her pink eyes still boiling from the silent rage. You'll do that for me? Crying Pearl asked. Of course, Sad Apple replied, hugging the pair. I still care about you, hoo-hoo-hoo, she sobbed. Stephen and MFS continued to watch their show until Spinel, with their gardening items, walked through the front door, not even glancing at them as she stormed over to the warp pack and warped away. Pearl also stopped by, looking up at the distressed and said, Hey, did Spinel say anything to you? Stephen and MFS, weirded out by Spinel's silence, shook their heads. Pearl then let out a disappointed sigh. Oh, stars. I don't know why, but something made Spinel upset. She won't even talk to me or Garnet either. I'm just worried about her, she nearly sobbed, yet contained herself. Garnet stepped up beside her. I'm sure she'll be all right. She'll be back soon before you know it, and she'll go back to normal. I hope so, MFS said. Yeah, Stephen mumbled, shutting off the TV.